I've always wanted to live an above average life. I can't think of anything more depressing than feeling like I'm not living up to my potential. Knowing I'm capable of more and yet living paycheck to paycheck, working a job I hate, not having control over my time. For me, that's hell. I'm only 23 years old, but as far as I can tell, the only way to escape that reality is to start a business. So that's led me to a few questions. What business should I start? What should I be focusing on every day? And how can I maximize my chances of success? I've thought about this a lot over the last couple of years, and I've invested a lot of money into courses and coaching to actually make this happen for myself. And so I want to condense that into an essay or video for you guys. And I want to show you what I'm doing to create my ideal lifestyle and income over the next 2 to 4 years of my life. First, I want to tell you why I'm not using my bachelor's degree. So I graduated from UCLA in 2022. And it was a wonderful experience. I mean, I learned a lot. I grew as a human being. I feel like I really learned how to be more social. And I have zero regrets. I think it was a really formative experience, but it didn't prepare me for the modern world. It didn't prepare me for the new world economy. It taught me how to be a good employee, to follow deadlines, to take instruction and to execute on said instruction, but it didn't teach me how to be free. It definitely didn't teach me how to do social media and thrive in the new world, which we all know is the future. The university system worked a couple of decades ago when if you got a degree, you were pretty much guaranteed an above average life. Like if you were a lawyer or a doctor in the 50s, you're chilling. I mean, you're going to be living the American dream. But that is no longer the case. College has become a standard path, and a standard path will always yield standard results. We've pushed it so much in our society over the last couple of decades that now it's lost its value, right? It teaches you things, but the price of learning that is just totally disconnected from the marketplace and value, right? Just imagine if I try to sell you a coaching program that was not just like $2,500 or like $5,000, but $40,000 a year. That must be a pretty damn good coaching program that's going to get me the results that I want. Certainly it's going to let me get a return on my investment. It's going to help me make more money or build a business, but not so with university, right? They've really been able to promise us this path and security and safety when that's a promise that they cannot keep, especially as the world changes. Average doesn't cut it when you can't afford a house, the AI meteor is about to strike, your government is printing billions and basing your currency, and robotics is threatening labor as we know it. The bar of survival is rising. It's no longer enough to just be average. You have to be fucking excellent if you want to get ahead, if you want to make more money, if you want to have control over your time, if you want to do something that you enjoy, if you want to make an impact on the world, provide for the people you love, protect those you care about most. You need to elevate the intensity at which you are living. This is a survival game. It's PvP. And we forget that because we've been so peaceful and prosperous for so long that we've grown soft and pudgy. Elevate your intensity. So I want to show you why I turned down a $90,000 job. Last year, I was very close to getting a job as a consultant. $90,000 starting salary, moved to Chicago, drink the corporate Kool-Aid. It was tempting, to be sure, to just be able to launch myself into a 6-figure a year income. But I'll tell you why I didn't go through with it. I looked at the people 20 years ahead of me and I asked myself, do I want to be like these people? Do I like the life that they lead? Are they congruent with my vision? The answer was a resounding fuck no. Their income was capped even if it was relatively high. They had no time or location freedom, and they were chained to the corporate machine. And what's more, my ambitions are well beyond $90,000 a year. I don't want to just make that. I want to make millions of dollars per year, and I know I have the potential to do it. So why the hell would I go down a path that doesn't lead me there? Right? Yes, all paths lead to the vision. Yes, it's good to start somewhere. I'm not shitting on a job, but I'm just telling you, to me, it didn't make sense to do something that wasn't going to get me the income and freedom that I wanted. Why would I start doing something that wouldn't guarantee the results that I wanted? Right? You can choose path A or B. Path A is the safety, get the job, right? Get that security, get that income now, or you can slug it out for a couple of years and seemingly make not as much, but you're riding an exponential curve rather than a linear curve. And this is what we need to be thinking about, especially when we're young and we're initiating our careers. It's not our time to earn, it's our time to learn. It's about consuming all the information that we need to set ourselves up for an extraordinary life 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, rather than cashing in now. My goal is to make exponential income from anywhere in the world doing what I want. As simple as it sounds, why would you spend any time doing something that doesn't lead to the life that you desire? If you want to dive more into reality creation and my mindset behind how we actually create the life we desire, vision, creation, all that good stuff, I'll put in the description an essay, How to Create the Reality You Want, which breaks all of it down. So assuming I stayed consistent and I actually was diligent about the work, I asked myself, what path would guarantee the results that I want? What path would guarantee the income, the lifestyle, the freedom? And the only answer was to start a business. So what business should you start as a beginner? If you're just getting started, you really haven't done so much research, and you want to make money online, you know that this is the future, where should you start? I've invested, I don't even want to say how much money into courses and coaching in this realm, and this is the landscape as I see it. The people telling you to start TikTok Shop or growth operating or SMMA are not getting rich off those business models. They're getting rich off selling information. They're telling you to do those business models and selling you a course or a coaching program, and that's where the bulk of their money comes from. Think about it. How did you learn about all those business models that you're contemplating? You saw somebody's content. And what is that creator selling? They're selling a course or a community or a coaching program about that business model. So they're making the bulk of the income by selling you information about a business that they're not even doing. It's a Ponzi scheme. This doesn't mean that it's bad or that those creators are bad. I mean, society kind of is a Ponzi scheme, but it's important to be aware of when you're deciding what business to start. So I recommend that you just go straight to the source of what's working, and that is build an audience and then sell a digital product. Everything that you could ever want in your life is on the other side of having people who know, like, and trust you. So how do you build a high value audience? This is something that I'm experimenting with right now. And as far as I can tell, it comes down to two basic ingredients. Number one, the quality of your ideas. And number two is the number of minds that you reach. You have to ensure that the ideas that you're putting out are truly life-changing for people. People don't give a crap about your art. They don't care about any niche, quirky, fun idea that you have. They want to improve their freaking lives. And if you can provide that for them in their health, in their wealth, in their happiness, in one of those eternal markets, you will be rewarded. Provide value to the marketplace and earn money in exchange. Remember this, guys, you get paid in proportion to the service that you render to the marketplace. And if you are not helping anybody, don't expect to be making any money. The reason you're not making money is because you're not helping anybody. You need to figure out how to help more people better. And if you focus your energy and your time on service, everything's going to come back to you tenfold. Focus on impact and income will come. And wherever possible, streamline this process. So I've been experimenting with so many different ways to deliver my mind into your mind using all the social media platforms and, in a way that is actually sustainable with like my daily routine and my productivity system. And this is the system that I'm experimenting with right now. It's write a weekly essay, record that essay as a YouTube video, turn that YouTube video into a podcast, split the YouTube video into shorts, and then schedule those shorts into all the short form content platforms. And then I also spend my time tweeting and growing on X. Your job as somebody who's trying to build an audience is to become a one-person media company. You want to focus on the distribution of your genius ideas. You want to provide value to the marketplace, and that requires getting eyeballs on your content. Where are the eyeballs right now? Social media. You have to participate. You have to play the game. So I'm going to go through that list again, but this time I'm going to break it down in detail. Start with a weekly essay. This essay is where you're going to deliver most of your value. This is going to be the long form content that is really going to nurture your leads. It's going to nurture your customers. It's going to build a deep, meaningful, valuable relationship with your audience. This is where you're really going to create customers rather than just have viewers who don't give a crap about you. Spend most of your creative energy writing this essay. Every single morning, write this essay that you feel is going to help your past, present, and future self. When we think about creating content, how do we create content? Create content that solves your own problems, right? Dan Koh is a master at this model. He says, your brand is your vision. Your content is you solving your problems and reaching your goals on the way to that vision. And your marketing is the benefits that you get from that transformation. Your life is your life's work. And all we have to do is begin to document that process. And this is where you start to notice that self-development is business. Self-development transitions into business because you realize that the best way that you can develop yourself at one point is by helping others, by helping them become all they can be. And This is where business is really fulfilling because it's not just about getting your bag. It's not just about making money, adding zeros to your bank account. That's important, right? That's one of the pillars of wealth. It's about changing culture. We're here to shift culture, not just do something meaningless for cash. I want to do something meaningful and I want to do it for the long haul. And helping my past self is like everything. It just makes me feel so good. What's more, when I write these essays, it's a form of self-improvement, right? Don't write to document everything that you learn. Write to solve your problems, solve your current problems, right? What is a problem that's you're facing right now? Like what's like the main bottleneck in your life right now? Is it your health? Are you like overweight and low energy and sad? Is it your money? Like, are you financially poor? Like you don't have money? Then you need to build a business? Is that what your core problem is? Whatever your core problem is right now, let that become your core offer. Let that become your message. Focus on solving that problem for yourself by learning, by studying, by consuming the content, the courses, the coaching of other creators, and then synthesizing it into your own content. You become a sort of curator of good ideas, helping yourself solve your biggest problems and doing it publicly on social media. So we want to really begin to talk to our past self, our present self, and our future self. And this is how you begin to access truly valuable ideas. You know, for a long time, I was talking about creating your ideal reality. And that's certainly one of the foundations of my content. And I still talk about that. Manifestation is very important to me. But the most valuable ideas came when I started solving my own problems. Because I realized my biggest problem, I want to build an audience and I want to make money online. And I want to do it lavishly while enjoying it. That's the biggest problem. And when I started solving that and documenting my path, that's when I really started accessing so much more value in the content I put out. And thus, I've been able to help more people and earn more money as a result. So solve your own problems and sell the solution. This is going to be the single highest leverage thing that you can do for yourself and also for your content. I really want to nail in on this one-person media company idea. Your job is to put out ideas, put out memes into the collective consciousness, right? Suppose that we are bacteria mingling in our large intestine, right? We have like trillions of bacteria, more bacterial cells than our own human cells, which is insane. We are like a community rather than just one organism. We're a community of organisms. So these cells, they do something called horizontal gene transfer. Essentially, when one bacteria bumps into another one, they share genes and they begin to share characteristics. So if one bacteria had like a really good mutation that helped it process, I don't know, some bit of nutrients faster and more efficiently, then that other bacteria would get it. And they do this by sharing information. In this case, biological information, DNA, genetics. Now, the counterpart of that is memetics, memes, cultural genes, right? Cultural packets of information that are replicable. Think of our society as a colony, as this community of bacteria. And these bacteria are constantly sharing information, right? Now, the big players in this society, in this petri dish, if you would, are the big creators, the big authors, the thought leaders who are really impacting the genome, if you would, right? Impact culture, right? We want to shift ideas, raise the collective consciousness. So your job is to pump out information, pump out this data so that other cells can begin to replicate that information in themselves and thus shape their phenotype. A phenotype is like the physical expression of your genes, right? If you have different genes, you're going to look different, you're going to behave differently. It also relates to your ideas. If you have different ideas, you're going to behave and interact with the world differently. And the degree to which you shape culture is the degree to which you're rewarded economically. The people who are making money, the people who are making $5 million a year, $400,000 a month, these people are providing the most value. So we have to figure out how can we elevate the quality of our ideas, and how can we maximize the number of minds that we reach? And if we do these things and we serve people, then there's no limit to the amount of money that we can make. And social media offers a unique opportunity for us to reach the collective consciousness. It's a new technology, right? This wasn't around 50 years ago. This allows us to share your memes with cells that aren't even next to you. It's like a virtual mycelial network connected by light. We're not bound geographically. Take advantage of it. Don't just scroll and do nothing. So I hope this gives you a perspective on the importance of social media and why you should really go all in, because this is going to be the thing that unlocks everything else. If you build an audience and you sell a product that helps them, you are set. Okay, I'm gonna go through these next ones a little faster. After I write that essay, obviously I send it out in a newsletter every single Sunday. If you're not already reading that, what are you doing? Link in description. But then I record it as a YouTube video, which also doubles as a podcast. And then I chop that up into shorts, right? You'll start to see how the newsletter is really the foundation of our content. And it allows us to put most of our energy into that to really make it high value rather than getting on like the short form content death flywheel where you're constantly pumping out short form content and nobody actually makes a relationship with you. You want to put most of your energy into the long form content that's really going to give your audience more value. So after you have the YouTube video, chop it up into shorts, find the best pieces that are optimized for short form content and schedule it. In a day, you can have a YouTube video done, a podcast done, and all of your short form video content scheduled for the week. And then you can just focus on other platforms like X. But you can't just stop there. None of your content matters if nobody consumes it. So try to schedule all of your short form video content for the week by Tuesday, and then dedicate the rest of your time to really distributing that high value long form essay that you spend so much time working on. Don't just let that die, right? Break it up into tweets. Put it as a carousel on Instagram. Put it in your stories, right? Use that copy that you've written everywhere else, right? You want to break that essay apart and distribute it to all platforms. Beginner creators focus on content. Seasoned creators focus on distribution. At the end of the day, it's not the people with the best content who win, but the people who reach the customers. So work hard on your long-form content, but then make sure that you're prioritizing growth. Seek impact and income will come. Content creation and audience building isn't a get-rich-quick path. It's about providing value to the market over the long haul. You should treat this like a master's program, not like a weekend project. I mean, you went to high school for 4 years. You went to college for 4 years. Why can't you dedicate yourself to another such period, right? University didn't give you much in those 4 years. Maybe you spend a couple $100,000 in college and you're in debt a little bit, and it didn't really give you the skills that you need to thrive in the new world. On the other hand, building an audience over the course of 2 to 4 years will give you exponential income and the freedom to enjoy life. The problem is that most people cannot think long term. They want to sell a rubber ducky on TikTok and make millions of dollars. Now, I'm not hating on the dropshippers or the TikTok shop people. I'm just sharing my own experience. I personally don't have the longevity or the discipline or the stamina to do something that I don't give a crap about. And for me, selling a Chinese product on a platform that can be banned at any second doesn't feel like I'm creating anything of substance. It feels like a Tower of Babel. I want to do something that actually serves humanity. I want to do something that impacts culture, that elevates the collective consciousness. What's more, that's not true wealth. Wealth isn't just about making money. Wealth is multifaceted. Wealth is a wheel, and each of the following elements are a spoke. And if you miss one of these elements, well, that wheel will be deformed and your life will be a bumpy ride. Money is only 1/8 of wealth. The rest is craft, impact, service, growth, family, wellness, community. Seek to serve humanity, not just to get your bag. If you dedicate yourself to building an audience of 100,000 to 1 million people over the next 4 years of your life, and you have any business sense at all, you will never have to worry about money again, all the while contributing to humanity and raising the collective consciousness. I can't think of a more meaningful path than documenting my path to the vision, than sharing what I'm learning along the way, than helping my past self. I know that my past self was somebody who was driven, somebody who was already working out. They were already meditating. They were already doing the self-development basics, and they knew what kind of life and what kind of guy that they were going to be. And what I'm sharing here is everything that version of myself needs in order to elevate themselves to the next level. If you do have the foundation, and if you don't, start with that. Start with the self-improvement basics. Watch my videos on subconscious programming. Do the basics and then worry about the other stuff. But if you already have all that, the thing that's going to take you to the next level is money. Money is the level that unlocks all of the other levels. And you need to build a business that works with the new economy, especially as the meteor of exponential technologies hurtles into the atmosphere. If you want control of your life, you need control over your money. And that means becoming an entrepreneur and starting a business. It's really like the only no-brainer path out there, right? If you want an extraordinary life, you need to do something that is above average. And that means starting a business. I think that this is the best business model out there. This is the business model that everybody's doing. They're building an audience and then they're selling something, and you should too. That's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this essay. I will see you on Sunday.